Hey guys, Tim Blake here, and so this is going to be my video for the review recap of Blindspot Season 2, Episode 3. Hero Fears Imminent Rot is the title. Interesting titles that these episodes have, even going back to Season 1. Very interesting titles. In the last episode, Roman got Jane with the tranquilizer needle and took her away. And this episode starts off not right there, but a lady is getting into a cab and the cab explodes. Jane is woken up. She's in a bed. Well, she's not woken up. She wakes up in a bed, and she's at the sandstorm hideout that we've seen. And basically, we find out that Kate contacted an old contact of Sandstorm to leave to go to Venezuela, which was a month ago, so they don't believe Jane's story now, that she was kidnapped and held for 3 months. Jane, she's able to play it. And she mentions that she was tortured. She was in a 4x4 cell, no windows, no clock. So if he had left for a while, then she wouldn't know. They said it was a one-way trip. She was able to turn it back around and say that he's probably doing that just to throw them off. So they buy that enough, or they believe in the probability of it enough, to where they decided to give her a test. There was a person that they were going to have clone a computer chip for them, but he missed a meet. He was in love with Jane, and after she was gone, he basically didn't trust the rest of Sandstorm, so he missed a meet, and she is to kill this person. Then we have the team, of course, coming in to deal with these bombings. Weller, of course, is worried because Jane has not answered her phone, and Nas is able to find out that she can't get in touch with Jane's phone because the battery had been removed. Which Nas says Sandstorm probably has Jane, and they can't blow her cover. So more tension between her and Weller due to the fact that Weller is not a fan of Nas's nonchalant attitude when it comes to the fact that Jane could actually be in real trouble. We know that Reed has had a bombshell dropped on him, the possibility that he himself may have been a victim of his football camp coach, who we have the episode last season of the school shooting at the college, the two former members of that camp trying to get revenge on him for victimizing them. And so obviously that's weighing heavy on Reed's mind. And Weller, of course, has the bombshell dropped on him at the end of last episode, the fact that he is going to be a father. So obviously those are things that are going to be big points this season, and in the episode as well. So Weller hands out assignments, and he has the pot to check the list of casualties because, of course, he's worried about Jane. Now, getting back to Jane, her and Roman arrive at the home of this person who Jane is there to kill. Don't remember his name. But Jane does have some kind of quick flashback. And the guy knew her as Remy, of course. She recruited him and killed his boss so that he could get higher clearance. So they get in the house, and the guy, he's already afraid. He runs into a panic room and calls security, which is quickly dispatched by Jane and Roman. And Jane is able to coax him out, and Roman knocks him unconscious. They go to the woods. Jane doesn't want to kill the person, but Roman shoots the guy and says that she failed her test. Now, prior to this, you could kind of see what was going to happen, but prior to this, and it actually turned out differently than I thought it would, but prior to this, Roman shared a story of when they were in the school, when they were kids. They gave them rabbits, and they fed the rabbits, they named the rabbits, bonded with them, and then one day they they were told to kill the rabbits. Jane quickly was able to just snap her rabbit's neck, and basically everyone's trying to drive home the fact that Jane is a natural born killer. Everyone in Sandstorm, and also Nas, for that matter. So, anyway, Jane fails the test. Roman tells her to go into the city and wait. He has to go talk with Shepard, and when she gets a page to go to a certain spot for someone to find her. Now, there's another bombing, and the two people who are carrying out this bombing, they are at both scenes, but they are able to avoid the cameras by looking down, and they put out on social media that these are for people who were killed due to the Navy testing weapons illegally on an island, and the people were died because of it. So that's the reason why they're doing these bombings. And so they find out that the tweets are scheduled to go out at a certain time. So they're able to hack into the social media feeds to find out where the next bombings are going to take place. So we do get to see the two people making the two bombings, and one of them, of course, when he sees the size of the bomb they're using, is kind of skeptical. Says, haven't we already made our point? But then he mentions the fact that his sister was killed, and the other one mentions the fact that his sister was killed as well as the other guy's sister. So they could decide to go along with it. However, they found out where this bombing is taking place, and they all go there. Nas, of course, wants Jane to come along. Weller wants Jane to stay, due to the fact that after she got back, she explained the situation, and Weller he knows Jane pretty well. Even though he made the statement to her that he doesn't know who she is anymore, he still knows her pretty well. So basically she goes along and she is distracted. Reed and Zapata, they find the bomb. Jane, she spots one of the people that they're after and follows him, even though Weller says to wait for backup. But she's determined to, prove herself, at least to someone. So she goes after them, or the one person, and Reed finds the only way to disarm the bomb is they have to damage it kinetically, which means they have to shoot the bomb, which they're able to successfully disarm it, which is very hilarious. It's almost like they didn't have, or they didn't feel like going through a whole bomb disarming scene, so they say, you know what, that'd be cool, and they just shoot the bomb to death, and that's exactly what happens, and it was pretty funny, but it was a good scene. The explanation for it, it fits how the show has been, so it's not anything out of the realm of believability. But as Jane is pursuing the one suspect, the other sees her and is about to shoot and kill her. Weller has to take him out, and the other guy escapes. So back at headquarters, Reed and Nas are having a very heated discussion on the fact that Reed knows his team, he knows Jane. Nas needs to follow his lead instead of just making these end runs and making her own calls. Zapata, outside of the room, looks over at Jane and says that she messed up. She should have waited for backup, and she almost got herself killed. Which Reed says that Jane has saved both of their lives, and you can't imagine what she's going through. And she was, after being tortured for 3 months and everything, where Zapata is able to catch on, there's something wrong with Reed, which she kind of caught on to earlier. And early in the episode, Reed even talked to Borden for briefly about repressed memories. But Zapata confronts him about it, which he says, you leave it alone for once. Just don't worry about it. Not her problem. So basically, they find out, or it's a news feed, the other suspect has taken hostages. He's wearing a bomb vest, and the team minus Jane goes to confront him. Jane, of course, has a meeting with Borden, and she's asking him about, killer instinct. Is a person born with it? To which he says, well, we all have certain impulses, but we make our own decisions. And, if you're able to control that, even if you still have those impulses, then you're still in control. So, at the scene of the where the guy's taking the hostages, the FBI are able to cut the feed so no one can see, which upsets the suspect, and Weller goes in to confront him without a weapon. He tells everyone to hold fire. Of course, Nas is there. Weller's trying to get through to him, and which he does. The guy's about to hand over the actual trigger for the bomb after he made Weller put on the bomb vest, but Nas shoots him in the chest twice, killing him, which Weller is definitely not happy about. But Nas, she basically says she was looking out for his interests. She's going to do whatever it takes to protect her team. Now, we know that Borden had asked out Patterson on a date, and Patterson, of course, calls it a friend meeting. This is what she tells Zapata, but she tries to cancel it by making it seem like she has a lot of work to do. And when she goes to cancel it, she overhears Borden speaking in Arabic on the phone, which he says he doesn't speak Arabic, and she was mistaken. Now, I don't know if this is on purpose or this is that the actual intent was for this scene. Made me think that maybe he was the spy, because he was trying to hide it. But after Zapata gives Patterson a pep talk and tells her to go on the date, she finds him, and we find out that he was ordering from a very special Arabic restaurant. So they actually share 2 kisses. They basically admit that they're very awkward when it comes to dating, and so that's the thing now. And lastly, Jane, she's talking to Weller about how Nas is telling her to be a killer, Roman's telling her to be a killer, and Weller is telling her not to be. And she feels pulled in different directions, which she's able to sympathize with, and he understands. But he tells her that she's not a killer, and that she needs to trust her instincts. Then she gets a page from Roman, and she feels that she could be walking into her own execution, but she says, what's her alternative? If she doesn't go, she goes back to the CIA. So she goes. She has to get in the trunk, which it was just carried on with the theme. She had a hood over her head. They really don't want her to know where they're located at. So she gets there, and a lot of the sandstorm people are there. She gets out of the car, and Roman's there, and he's lied to Shepard and said that Jane killed. Goodness, I almost remembered his name. Jerry? Larry? I don't know, but so then she says that I know she didn't have the time to think about Oscar, so to say some words. Meanwhile, the team is having a little memorial service in Mayfair's old office, which is now Weller's office. They're with her picture, her portrait that had to be taken down. And Jane is giving a speech, and one thing I really enjoyed about this part, and I don't know if it was intentional, but the words she was saying to the sandstorm people seemed like she was saying it for Oscar. saying how he had made many mistakes, but he was trying to do good, and that he was killed and she couldn't protect him. But at the same time, cutting in with the rest of the team, it seemed as if she was actually saying those words about Mayfair. So after that ends, Zapata and Reed are in the locker room. Zapata confronts Reed about what she talked to, or what Reed talked to her friend Freddie about, or his friend Freddie about. So Reed confides in her that Freddie informed him he should testify as a witness, or not a witness, as a victim. And you can tell he's been emotional about it, and he's been angry about it, but, you know, he kind of has a small breakdown, and Zapata gives him a hug. Excuse me, last scene of the episode, Lincoln, funny, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came on last night, so, anyway, Roman, he says that the reason why he did it is because he understands how difficult things are for Jane, but things are about to move very quickly, and she needs to find her old self because he won't be able to protect her again. Then he tells her what happened to his rabbit. He was unable to kill his rabbit, so the people at the school cut the rabbit in the stomach and let the rabbit bleed out all night. And he was able to hear the rabbit screaming, and he says he can still hear it now. And he says that she needs to find her killer instinct, or he was going to have to find her rabbit and kill it for her, or make it bleed, is what he said. Which, obviously, we know that that's Weller. So, and that's how the episode ended. So, I mean, very good episode. Blindspot is one of the rare shows where I can't think of a bad episode since it's been on. With the plot, the way they handle the pacing of each season, with the overarching storyline, plus the take cases with the tattoos, and now they're bringing back certain things where they're even having Borden have a more more involved position with the team. And so this is 3 episodes this season, and he's been in all 3, which I think is great. I like how they're giving Reed some character development outside of the fact that he's dating Weller's sister, like in the first season. Zapata, nothing's really going on with her other than her obvious distrust of Jane and anger toward her. I just wonder if any of the things that she was involved in season 1, like the gambling and working with Carter to get information on Jane, I wonder if that's ever going to come up. But great episode. Loved it, and looking forward to next week's episode and the rest of the season. Tell me what you guys thought about in the comments below. Also, if you could drop a like right up under the video over here, the thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel. Click that red button below the video there, and I really appreciate it. It'll help me out a lot, guys. But that's that for this video, and the next video, of course, which is going to be posted tomorrow, is going to be my video of Designated Survivor, which in my previous video for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I said next week I was going to move it to Thursday, but things came up today, and my schedule is not going to permit me to watch the episode and do the video and get it uploaded tonight with the time the show comes on. So that video will be posted tomorrow, prior to, and actually no, nothing comes on tomorrow, due to the fact that everything starts back up next week. So that video will be posted tomorrow evening. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Didn't play it out. Peace. Catch you guys later.